Welcome back to part two, my friends. We have this lovely little cottage. Let me just fix my microphone here, just for a moment. Okay, wonderful little cottage we have left to paint. Isn't this looking really nice? Lovely colours, nice complementary colours. And just onto the cottage, just all we have to paint. The cottage, maybe tip away, do a little bit here and there. I might just add a bit more mist to some of the hills. I'll see as I go. But look, same colours, little flat brush, give that a little dip in some turpentine and dry it. And let's start. A nice grey roof. Let's make a nice grey roof, a nice kind of a mauvey grey. Magenta, phaylo blue, touch of white, and then a touch of black. All right, that'll give us a nice grey roof, a warm pinkish kind of a grey roof. Let's have a look at that now. Maybe a little bit darker, tiny bit. I'll take a touch of thinners in that, just a touch. So a nice kind of a warm grey. I'm going to make this slightly bigger just to give it more of an impact in the landscape. So I'm just going to go slightly higher with the roof. Make the building itself slightly more prominent in the painting. I think it'll look better. I don't want the cottage disappearing too far off in the distance. So that's the roof done, really. That was easy. Maybe we could add a little bit of tone to the roof. What I mean by that is it's what they call tinting. So you get a colour, you mix up a lighter colour, let's say light blue, and you just add a little bit of that in and you kind of soften it down. You're kind of tinting the colour slightly. I suppose what I'm aiming to do here is to create a little bit of a gradient and just add. It's really all about adding something to the roof, because I don't want the roof just to have a flat colour. In general, it's nice to have a little bit of a gradient or something in the roof just to give it a little bit of interest, let's say. So I'm going to take a bit of black and a bit of burnt umber as well, and I'm just going to kind of very gently soften that in towards the bottom, look, and just soften it up with your brush. And we're just giving a little bit of colour, a little bit of darkness into the roof here and there. You see that? Because you have to remember, it's a very old roof. It's probably been there for 100 years. So it's not going to be completely spotless, is it? So a little bit of that here and there is fine. Now let's go into some white. I'm going to start my cottage with some white first. A nice bright white. That'll make a nice little base for us. You could add, if you wanted to, a little bit of Naples yellow perhaps, or something like that. But I will again add little colours into this as I'm going. I don't want it again pure white, do you understand? I want to add a little something into it here and there. I basically want to make it look like it's very old. And it is. It's a very old cottage, so we need to make it look that it's been sat there for God knows how many years, lots and lots of years. So we need to make it seem like it's been there that long, and it's not pristine white. I'm going to take a little bit of grey and just pop a little bit of grey in underneath and just kind of soften it down. All these small things are going to make a huge difference. So I don't want pristine white walls. There's a little bit of dirt going through the walls, you see. It's not perfect. Soften a little bit of that grey, just kind of switch it around with your brush. I'm dabbing, I'm moving the paint around just to add a little bit of, you see, just that little touch of contrast on one side is quite nice. We can maybe even add a little touch of that roof colour as well. The tiniest little amount, you see. You're just moving the paint around. Dab, 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 dab. Bring it across here and there, you see. So I like to start with a white first and work my colours into it. There we go. And the corner doesn't have to be a perfectly straight line either. Now for the front, I'm going to take some Naples yellow and some white. And I'm going to pop some Naples yellow and white on there. And we'll kind of pretty much do the same thing then. So we'll start with Naples yellow and white. I'm going to make this my light side. Just bring it down there like that. And then again, maybe try a touch of burnt sienna with some burnt umber, perhaps, and just, again, just kind of make that wall look a little bit dirty, you know what I mean? It's not pristine. Maybe complement it on this side as well by adding a little bit of that colour in there. So we're telling a story. We're telling a story that it's a very old cottage. It's been here a very long time. It could be slightly run down. I know in the photograph it's not, but we have artistic license, so we can change things if we like. There we go. That's not bad now, is it? Just a nice little bit of shading. Soften the lines where they meet. We're just having a bit of fun. And you can see it almost looks like a texture on the wall there, doesn't it? I really like that. It looks textured, like it's a very rough kind of a plaster or something like that. Okay, I'm thinking perhaps let's just maybe take a bit of white, dab a little bit of white through here and there. Give the impression that there's kind of cracks and there's light parts and dark parts and all that kind of thing. Because I want to spend a little bit of time on this. We only really have to paint a cottage. So if I paint this very quickly and simply, it's going to be finished in 5 minutes. So I just want to take my time, have a bit of fun with this. Let's see what we can kind of add to it. No, that's not bad. Let's go to a small pointy brush and we'll start putting in our windows and the door. I'm just simply going to take this dark blacky colour, okay? I'm going to pop in 2 windows. Now, I'm just having a fast look to make sure everything looks okay. I'm painting at a slight angle here, so I'm trying to push myself over to make sure everything is straight. It may not be. Let's pop a little window in here. And another one here. Okay. And pop a little door. Take a bit of burnt umber perhaps. Pop a door in here. And the lines don't have to be perfectly straight. Again, remember it's an old cottage. Just little wiggles on your lines is not a bad thing. I put a little bit of shade in here, just for the inside of the window surround. Just giving a little bit of shadow. I'll do the same with the doorway actually. A little bit of darkness down in there. I'm then going to also add some, just get a bit of black. I'm going to just refine underneath some of this here with some black. Again, not a straight line, you see. We also have a window on this side. I'm just going to pop a window in here, just a small little window. And you can see not everything is perfectly straight, which is good. If everything was perfectly straight, it would look a little bit too angular, wouldn't it? And let's just face off this piece here, carry that down our other side of the roof. It's a lot of fun doing something like this. You can just take your time. I'm going to pop in a couple of those Velux windows, what they're called. Velux windows up on the roof. There's 3 there. Let's just pop 3 in. We've 1, 2, 3. A bit of white. Pop a little bit of white in there. you can see I'm following the angle, keeping the angle the same, in the same direction. And then maybe a touch of black again, just to go around some of those. Give a little bit of detail. That's all it is. Nothing else, just a little bit of detail. Now we also have a little bit of a roof, sorry, not a roof, a bit of a chimney up there, don't we? Let's pop a little bit of a chimney in. Let's go where the chimney is, down around here. This is very relaxing. I love painting stuff like this. It's just, it takes your mind away from everything for a short while. It's very nice. A little bit of shadow on the back of this. Like so. I don't know if that's kind of falling to one side or not. I think it is. And one or two, maybe little, one pot up on top. And that's all we need to do, really. I'm just kind of facing off some of these little lines. It's really, if anything else, just to add a little bit of interest to a painting, that's all. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is kind of sit this down on the grass, okay? We need to sit this down a little. I'm going to take some cadmium yellow and naples yellow. I'm just going to go along and pop that in. And I'm almost kind of sort of softening this now into the cottage, okay? I'm just going to soften it upwards, mixing it together slightly. So we have a nice little, what you would say, a transition. Take a bit of burnt umber and perhaps some burnt sienna. A little bit of dark over on this side. And then, again, I'm going to soften it in to the cottage. You see? I'm bringing it all down, leaving it sort of disappear. We're just creating this nice little softness in the landscape. Isn't that right? So you see, there's really no limit to what you can and cannot put into your painting. You can put whatever you like. You can add stuff. You could add some sheep or someone walking, all that kind of thing. You could add whatever you like into the painting just to make it a little bit different and unique, I suppose. I'm just going to add a little bit more to some of these bits of turf down here, just to make them a little bit more prominent. Okay. And I'm looking around and I'm kind of looking for things that I think I can add. I suppose, you know, look, we don't have to add anything, but let's just see if we can. I might do a little bit of work on some lights on the trees. How about that? Should we try it? Make a bit of light green. And let's just put a bit of light on some of these. Just reinforcing the direction of the lights. That's all. And perhaps, you know, a little bit down here, a little bit there. One thing I could do is perhaps take some white, add suggestion of one or two little flowers popping up here and there. Just a few. We don't have to go absolutely crazy with this. Just one or two here and there, you see. Very, very soft, gentle touches of white. Just to add, again, you're creating the impression that there's a lot of detail there, but there's not. It's just tiny little marks with your brush. That's all it is. One or two ones there with burnt umber. You because there's lots of little grasses and stuff like that popping up all over the place. And I think we're probably nearly done. One last thing I might like to do is just to add, just to kind of soften that out a little. I think that could do with some softening just up along there. So perhaps just take a little bit of dry white on my brush, very, very soft white, and bring it through where they meet, look. Just to soften them together slightly. I think that might help. That's not bad, is it? Really? Come on, it's not that bad. I think this is quite a nice little painting. I could add someone to the painting, walking or doing something, but I'm not sure if I will distract from the painting too much by doing that. So let me think. I'm just kind of looking now, and I just want to make sure I've everything covered. Maybe add a couple of lights into this. Now, my friends, I have a lovely painting coming very shortly, in the next day or two on Patreon. It's going to be a beautiful seascape, and I'm very excited about it. So if you want to see that, pop over and take a look on Patreon. It's going to be a really nice painting, and it's a very, very soft kind of a seascape, just with some wave crashing, but lots of light and dark going through the painting. So that's my next project, which I'm going to be starting very soon, maybe even today. So I'll leave you with this. Let me know what you think. I have an idea. Just popped into my head. You see how these things pop in and out of your head? I'm going to put a little smoke coming out of the chimney. Shall we try and do some smoke? I'll show you how to create smoke out of a chimney top. It's actually quite simple. A very old dry brush like this, look, something that's opened up, anything. Take a little white, a little of that grey colour. I'll start off with a grey, okay, a very light grey. Let me just check here now. Okay, you see what I want to do? Starting little small, little circles, and I'm going left to right and left to right, and getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it comes up. Like that. You see? You see how easy that was? Then as you come up, start adding a bit more white into it. And let's pretend the wind is kind of coming across and blowing that smoke away up into the air. And it disappears then up into the hillside, look. So it disappears up into the air. How about that? You see how easy that was? A couple of little swirls with a dry brush, a tiny bit of paint, and we already have smoke coming out of our chimney. And what this is doing is it's kind of, unbeknownst to yourself, the direction of the smoke is bringing you into the painting, you see. So you're focusing in on the painting rather than going out of the painting. That's what it's about, kind of drawing your eye inwards. And that's it. My friends, I think we're done. I don't feel the need to add any more to this. I could keep going, but it might make a mess of it, and that's what I don't want. So I think we're good. One thing I might just do is add a tiny, tiny little window frame across here, look. The tiniest little white line going across, separating the windows. And I think we're done. I don't feel the need to keep going with this. I'm happy enough. So I'll just sign my name. And I like to sign my name when I'm finished, because I know subconsciously, once I sign my name, that's it, it's finished. And I won't go back then onto the painting. So I'm now officially saying this painting is finished. And I'm going to make a nice frame for it. And we'll see how we go. Let me zoom in there for you. There's the cottage. A nice simple little cottage. You can see how easy it was to create. Just take little bits of paint and just dab little bits of paint through your colour. Make it look old and aged. Not too crisp, not too sharp, you know, not too bright. It just sits naturally in the landscape, I feel. Now I am going to just add a few lights to some of these here, just to help take them away from the cottage a little bit. Just with some Naples yellow, that's all. There. Bringing them forward a little bit more. That's all. So that's it, my friends. How about that? I hope you enjoyed that. I really did. I thought that was immense fun. Thank you so much. Let me straighten this thing here. It's all over the place. I will see you very shortly again. Thank you so much. As I said, pop over to Patreon if you would like to see exclusive content. Beautiful paintings over there as well. And I'm just about to start another one. So patrons, if you're watching, another one coming very soon. Possibly today. So thank you so much. Thank you for subscribing if you have done. And thank you for your wonderful comments. I sincerely appreciate it. And I hope you've learned something. Just keep it simple and have fun. Okay? Happy painting. I'll see you again very soon. And take care.